Welcome to the Schoology Parent Training video. In this video, we'll cover the basics of getting logged in, seeing the difference between a parent view and student view, messaging back and forth in the system, as well as setting up your notifications. Let's get started. First, visit the website app.schoology.com. Then, enter your school-issued username and password. In the school or postal code box, type in the word Perrysburg. From the drop-down menu, select Perrysburg Schools. Before we click Login, notice this yellow box. Did you mean to log in from lms.perrysburgschools.net? This is the web address that students will log into in order to complete their work, but parents will always use app.schoology.com. Go ahead and click Login. Once you log into Schoology, it's important to note that there are two perspectives you might be seeing things from. First is the parent view, and second is the view from one of your children's perspectives. Right now, we're in the parent view, and I can tell because my name is displayed in the upper right-hand corner. If I click on my name, I should see my name has a green check mark next to it, showing me that I'm in the parent view. And below my name is my child's name and their school, or children if you have multiple children in the district. Today I have some demo students so that I can show you what those views look like. But first, parent view. In the middle of the screen, we'll see the recent activity. In the recent activity area, you will see things like updates and announcements from Perrysburg schools, as well as the schools that your children attend. To the right, you'll see upcoming events on the calendar, noting some important dates. Across the top navigation bar here, you'll notice things like courses, groups. You might see some different words like grade report. Those are referring to courses and groups that you as a parent are registered for. And since you're not really registered for much, you don't have to pay much attention to those. What you're really interested in is what we'll see in the child's view. But before we talk about that, it is important to note that if you click on courses, you are registered for one course, and it is full of resources for you as a parent. So it might be a good idea to dive into that course and see if there's some questions that might be answered if you have them at a later point. You'll also want to notice the envelope icon here in the upper right. This is your messaging icon. And if you ever see a number on there, it means that you might have a message waiting for you. It's also where you can send messages back and forth with teachers, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. Now, let's take a look at the child view side of things. We'll start by clicking on the parent name in the upper right-hand corner, and I'll select this child who's in elementary school. The first thing I see is the student activity page, which has announcements very similar to what we saw on the parent side of things. We can also see upcoming. So it looks like there's an assignment that's upcoming for this child. If I click on enrollments, I can see any courses that this child is registered for. And we're going to say Mrs. Zimke here, 3rd grade, is our child's teacher. So I'm going to click on that course. And when the student is logged into their Chromebook at school and they're in Schoology, this is exactly what they'll see. As the parent, you can click through and see these things just as they would. So we can see some course materials that they must be working through. We'll click back. Can get a closer look at what looks like an assignment. That pencil icon tells us it's an assignment. And then we have a family information folder. So there's even some things here for parents to see as they're viewing things like newsletters and family communication. You will not see things like grades on the student side because our elementary schools do not put grades in Schoology. If you have any questions about anything in your child's course in Schoology, feel free to reach out to your child's teacher at any time. Now let's take a look at a child's activity view if they were in the 5th through 12th grade. So once again, I click in the upper right-hand corner, and this time I'm going to select this child at Hall Prairie Intermediate School. Now, it doesn't matter if your student's at Hall Prairie, the junior high, or the high school. Things should look pretty similar in all of those. So first, let's take a look at the student activity page. We're going to notice a lot more information here as opposed to a student who's in elementary. First of all, there's this scrolling feed, and here we will see activity more than just announcements from teachers in the school. We'll also see things that our child submitted. We'll see when things are graded. We'll get a lot more information here. We even see if there's some extracurricular activities posted. Over here in the upper right-hand corner, you can click here to see anything that's been recently graded. Below that, you'll see any items that are overdue or past due date. And then below that, this should look familiar, you'll see some upcoming assignments and when they are due. If we click over to the enrollment side, that's where we see all of the courses that our student is currently registered in. And over here on the right-hand side, we should see the most recent up-to-date overall grade for those courses that our child's in. From here, we can click on any one of these courses to get a closer look at what our student is learning. So we'll click on Social Studies just to give us kind of a taste. At the top, sometimes we'll see announcements or updates from the teacher. In this case, we can see what tests are upcoming. We even have a link here of what to study, so that's helpful information. And then below the updates and announcements, we will see all of the course materials. So this is very helpful to know that if you're trying to help your child with studying or help with understanding what they've learned today at school or in previous days, these should be organized in folders somewhat. We can see week 3, for example, and we can click on yesterday and see some directions. Looks like a discussion that the students had and any other materials that they used in their course. We can click the Perrysburg Schools logo to navigate back to student activity and enrollments if we want to see more things, more courses. Lastly, there is a calendar feature here in Schoology, so if we click on that, then we get a monthly view of what's going on with this child. You'll see upcoming due dates for things, and if you hover over items, you will see the course and the student's name. You can click on those assignments to gain more information. Let's go back to the parent view side of things and discuss messaging. Sometimes in Schoology, you will want to message your child's teacher. When you want to do this, click on the envelope icon in the upper right-hand corner. If you have any previous messages or messages awaiting you, you will see them, and all you have to do is click on the message in order to read it and reply. When you want to send a new message, simply click New Message, and in the box, type who the message is to. After typing in the teacher's name, select the teacher from the list, click in the subject line and type a quick subject, and then type the body of your message. Notice that you may also add a file or a link and some other resources if need be. Then click Send. As a parent, you have the ability to receive notifications from Schoology, and you can receive these notifications via email or via text message on your mobile device. In order to set up notifications, click again on your name in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure that your name is selected. Then click Settings. After clicking Settings, you'll want to click on the second tab over called Notifications. As you can see from this page, you have the ability to turn on and off any one of these notifications. So right now, you can see that whenever a course update is posted, I will receive an email. If I don't want that, I click here, turn off, or I can customize that notification. As you scroll down, you can see that there are academic notifications, notifications from school groups like extracurricular things your child is involved in, and from the school, as well as receiving messages. So for example, if a teacher messages me, I would like to get an email about that. My right-hand column here is my mobile notifications. In order to set that up, there should be a button over here so that you can put in your information involving your data carrier for your mobile phone. And then you can turn on and off the mobile notifications here in the right-hand column. If you would like, the Schoology app is available for free download on most mobile devices. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on Schoology. If you have any questions or need any assistance with Schoology, please don't hesitate to reach out to Kent Vandock or Jason Hubbard for assistance.